Hello and welcome to Video City, where there's no membership required. And leave us alone, Mel Brooks. I'm Brent.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Travis.
And today, what a treat. We have Robin Hood, Men in Tights, directed by Mel Brooks, 1993. Travis, why did you do this to us?
Well, unlike you two, I very fondly remember this movie, and this will not be my first rewatch. Not since it came out. I rewatched this movie several times.
Is this on like the regular rotation?
I enjoy the living hell out of this movie.
Okay.
Someone has to.
Yeah, right. Somebody's got to like it.
And we found the guy.
You found the one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was funny because I was reading about when it came out, it did not do great in box office.
Right.
But once it went to home video, that's where it found. He said this is either the first or second most selling movie that he's ever put out.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
That's sad.
I don't like how that makes me feel about the world. So I have when you recommended this, I have a memory. I did see this in theaters, partially. I did not see the whole thing. And I've never watched it since because this was a family trip to the movies. I think my dad was like a big, Blazing Saddles fan. We loved Spaceballs, like our whole family. My brother was a big Star Wars guy, so we loved watching that. We went to the theater. I don't remember exactly how long we made it in, but it is one of the few movies my entire family were like, we're leaving. We're out. And I don't remember being upset about that as like a 9-year-old.
It's like, you know what? Okay.
Fair, kind of fucking stinks. Yeah, so that's my memory. Joe, do you have any memories of Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Yes, I loved it when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
We got this. So we had basic cable. We had a free weekend of HBO. We saw this was on, so we copied it.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched it a lot when I was like 10, 11.
Mm-hmm. And you liked it?
Yeah.
Okay.
As a kid, this was funny.
Maybe it was just like, who knows? Like, given my family, maybe my mom and dad were fighting. Like, who knows what the fuck was going on with my family at that point?
The fact that I still watch it now it proves the fact that I have dumb kid brain.
Actually, yes. Well, we know that. That's established. But I guess given the time of this, looking at it, it was 93. This was actually post-divorce. So maybe it was like, maybe I only went with my mom, and that would make way more sense if she was like,
that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that would be fair. Okay, so where do you put this on the Mel Brooks pantheon?
Second to last.
Yeah, I mean, same. And then worse is Dracula Dead and Loving It?
Of course.
Okay.
This is easily top 2 for me.
Top 2?
Yeah, I love this. I still love this movie.
What's the other?
Yeah, what else is your top 2?
I always enjoy. It's okay. We'll go top 3 because to me, top 3 are gonna be Spaceballs, Blazing Saddles, and this.
Okay.
It's all of.
If you replace this with High Anxiety, I got you.
I think that's kind of. Young Frankenstein is also really good.
Parents, or my dad and my brother, they killed me on that one. They would watch it every time it was on.
Okay.
And they'd yell the putting on the Ritz, and I just wanted to die.
Yeah, that's fair. It's got the Smooth by Santana featuring Rob Thomas problem of just being overdone for you.
Yeah, it's just everywhere you go.
Yeah, it was everywhere in Young Joe's life.
It's
okay.
also one of the greatest songs of all time.
It is. I mean, objectively.
Which also goes because it's always fun because he's Rob Thomas and Matchbox 20. They're from Philly or Pennsylvania, somewhere over there. So
sure.
I can only imagine them having that Philly accent where they're like, "Oh yeah, smooth as hell." It's like, "Oh yeah, baby, it's so smooth."
It's
so
dirt.
smooth.
So anytime I think about
so smooth,
anytime it's the ongoing joke in the house of something smooth, they oh yeah, like Carlos Santana and Rob Thomas.
You sound fucking Australian. Like Crocky, Rob Thomas,
Trying to do it while laughing.
Doing that Pennsylvania voice.
Yeah,
like to turn this on when I have sex. You
New Zealand now?
I fucking skip. What's the difference? And now I've made a new group, Matt, which is Australians,
which is
and
Oceania.
Yeah. The Tasmanians are fine. Anyway, all right. Yeah, so you remember that. So, I mean, decent memories. I'm the only one that seems to have a pretty bad one.
Plus, in my house, we love Princess Bride.
Yeah.
So when we saw that Carrie Elwes, pronounced Elwes.
Is that actually, it's Yules, right?
No, it's Elwes.
It's Carrie Elwes?
I looked it up. He gave an explanation. It's Elvis with a W instead of a V.
Oh, okay, Elvis.
Yep.
Because I said Yules too.
Yeah, I always thought it was you. I mean, because that was the thing where I was like, I was going to have a whole... Thanks for ruining my bit that I was going to have. Where I was going to be like, Carrie Yules for some reason, even though the fucking L's in front of the W, but I guess it's just Elvis.
It's just Elvis.
Never Elvis.
Elvis.
Oh, I'm Elvis.
Elvis Presley.
I'm Elvis Presley. Okay, all right, moving the fuck on. So, to give a quick summary of this movie, it's fucking Robin Hood. Like, it is specifically Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which had come out, I think, in 1990. So this is a timely 3 years later after the source material.
Yeah, they started filming 2 years after it came out.
Awesome. I mean, really just on top of the pulse of society. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that Prince of Thieves stayed in the fucking popular zeitgeist for that long.
No.
You had the Mike the song, you know, I would die for you.
Oh yeah.
You know, everything I do for you.
I was thinking of a different song by him.
Yeah.
I was thinking of All for One, All for Love, which
That's
was a
Michael
great song.
Bolton?
Oh no, I'm thinking of someone else completely. I'm
No,
thinking of Bryan
I may
Adams.
be wrong. Who sang that song? Do you know? No. Because it's all for love.
That song fucking rules.
That song whips. Everything I do for you fucking rules too.
I think they're both Bryan Adams.
Bryan Adams. I'm a fucking
not
idiot.
The wrestler.
Yes, not which we.
How many times did you say?
Oh,
his
wait,
name
not
last-
Kona.
last episode?
So are you talking about? Are you talking about Wrath?
No, Kona Crush.
Yeah, we already did this whole conversation off the microphone.
No one listened to Free Jack.
Did we do that on Free Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no one watched it.
We
no
had
one
to
listened
take breaks. And
People
Free
saw
Jack.
like, oh, Free Jack. I'll wait a week.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Okay, well, circling it back to that, that's what we call a stitch back. Anyway, it's just the story of Robin Hood. So we have, Robin of Locksley returns from prison in Jerusalem, fighting in the Crusades. He returns to merry old England. He, runs up against the sheriff of Rottingham. I get it, because it's bad. Maid Marian, the Merry Men, the whole archery scene. No great. Joe, help me. Chug-a-lug. Roger Miller. Yeah, unfortunately, no Roger Miller soundtrack in this version of Robin Hood, which would have improved things.
Don't get me started on the soundtrack.
Okay, so I know this was one of your original complaints, especially the opening credit, the opening song.
Yeah.
So anytime there's music in a Mel Brooks movie, he writes the lyrics.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
It shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as bad as it was, it's as bad as it's ever been.
Yeah, sure.
As bad as it ever was.
Bad as it ever was. Bad as it ever was. This is not my beautiful Sherwood Forest. Okay, whatever. It fell apart. So, all right. Directed by, like we said, Mel Brooks, who is a legend. I mean, let's be fair here. Has made some all-time classic comedy movies. This is not one of them. Starring Cary Elwes. And also, I mean, I would guess he's kind of the main, he's obviously the main star as Robin Hood, but we also have like a decent little cast of characters. We have Richard Lewis as Prince John, Amy Yazbek as Lady Marian, Roger Reese as the Sheriff of Rottingham, Dave Chappelle, pre-Chappelle Show, pre-Half-Baked, pre-whatever the fuck is going on with that dude now in his movie debut. So,
and Marla Hooch
as
Broomhilda.
Tracy Ullman, fantastic.
As Latrine.
Yeah, as Latrine. We have Dom DeLuise in a fucking
So
great...
good.
In one of the few scenes where I'm like, all right, just let him do the fucking Brando,
He
Godfather
does all
shit.
the Brando.
Fantastic, which we'll circle back to that as
We
well.
will.
But, I mean, that's the movie. It's Mel Brooks comedy. My question here, before we really get into it, is like, why is this movie not as good as Spaceballs or Blazing Saddles or High Anxiety when it's the same? I mean, it's a Mel Brooks movie through and through. In 5 seconds what you're getting.
But it's missing the cast.
Yeah.
It's missing the budget.
Yeah.
And it's missing the timing.
Yeah. The timing is just really... It doesn't let
Nonstop.
anything sink in.
It's a machine gun of puns.
And sometimes like machine gun comedy is really, really good, but it needs to kind of build on itself and kind of up the joke that happened before, and it's never that. It's just, here's a pun, here's a sight gag.
Here's a fart joke.
Yep. Some questionable other jokes that we'll get to. So we still live in a world where this existed, so nothing bad too bad happened afterwards. But Joe, tell us what was going on at the time of the release of Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Well, the number one movie in the world is a buddy cop action thriller, Rising Sun, starring Sean Connery, Wesley Snipes, Tia Carrera, and how the hell have I never seen this movie?
I don't even know what you're talking
This sounds so good.
Tia Carrera?
Yeah, remember her?
From Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's fucking
And
awesome.
I want to see Sean Connery with Wesley
Cassandra.
Snipes.
And her name was Cassandra. And Wesley Snipes
Yeah.
playing off Sean Connery.
Yep.
That's fucking
What is this called?
It's called Rising Sun.
Is it based in
Rising
Japan?
Sun.
It better be.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to watch this at some point.
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we found. Okay. Great.
And the number one song really fucking stinks.
Okay.
It's UB40's cover of Can't Help Falling in Love.
Oh,
Yeah.
I only remember Red.
Remember
Wine,
that
really.
nice Elvis song, Can't Help Falling in Love? Imagine if it was
Okay.
bad reggae.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Okay. That's
But
on the pop
alternative
charts.
chart.
Yeah.
We have Break It Down Again by Tears for Fears, which is not a song I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
And they are not a band I would associate with A, the 90s,
Yeah.
and B, the alternative charts.
Break
Now,
It
Tears
Down.
for Fears fucking rule
Yeah. Oh yeah.
in a very specific place in time.
Yes.
Yeah, Break It Down Again.
Break It Down Again by Tears for Fears.
I guess everyone dabbled a little in the 90s.
Yeah. It's crazy that you're like, here's like, this feels like an alternate fucking reality. Where like, here's a movie you've never heard of with Sean Connery, Wesley Snipes, and Tia Carrera, and the alternative track of Tears for Fears.
But on TV tonight, on
Mhm.
ABC, it's Wednesday, and it's the premiere episode of Delta, starring Delta Burke. And in this one, Delta hijacks Thelma and Lavon's trip to a hairdresser's convention and detours them to Patsy Cline's grave. This show was supposed to help restart Delta Burke's career following her dismissal from designing women.
Okay. Yeah, I remember designing women.
It didn't do that.
I don't think so, because I've never heard of it.
Now, July 5th, Icelandic musician Björk
Okay. Now
releases her first solo album debut.
oh, fantastic. Now we're cooking.
And on July 19th, President Clinton fires FBI Director William Sessions, known for being FBI Director over Ruby Ridge and the assault on the Branch Davidian compound outside Waco, Texas, as well as being the name under Winners Don't Do Drugs message on arcade games released 89 to 93.
Wow.
His real legacy.
That's the real shit. Yeah,
On-
I mean, Ruby Ridge and Waco didn't have any real long-lasting effects on the American body politic or our psyche. So,
or
you know,
buildings in Oklahoma City.
there's that. I mean, they're all fine. Nothing bad ever came of that. So we'll just move on.
All right, so July 12th.
It was really just how much of a fucking diversion do you want to make me talking about that shit?
So, just to reach really far here to find a Jordan fact.
Uh-huh.
On July 12th, Michael Jordan is... all right. Let me get my head around this one because it is stupid.
Okay.
He is photographed in a Chicago White Sox uniform alongside Tom Selleck during the festivities leading to the July 13th All-Star Game. That's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love our Jordan facts.
They're hard to find sometimes.
What are we going to do when we get into like the 2000s and it's like just post Jordan's career?
I'll find out what he was doing.
We'll get there. I like that
Michael
he's
Jordan today mowed the lawn.
Ate a big old bowl of Crispix.
I like that he's with Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
Tom Selleck's got some bangers that we'll have to dig into.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's got a catalog that's rich.
And on July 28th, Mariner Ken Griffey Jr., he is the third to hit home runs in 8 straight games.
Okay. So he's the third player to ever hit a home run in 8
8 straight games, yes.
Okay. Cool. Ken Griffey Jr.?
Yeah.
I remember when he was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Home run derby, all that good stuff.
The backwards hat.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
actually explained on a podcast why he always had the backwards hat because he used to play with his dad when he first got in Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm. Ken Griffey
So-
Sr.?
Yeah, so he always wanted to wear his dad's hat on the field,
Uh-huh.
but his dad had such a large head that the only way his dad's hat would fit is put it on backwards.
Put it on
He was like, it
backwards.
was never a conscious thing. He was like, I didn't do it to be cool. I just wanted to wear my dad's hat.
Huh.
I'm glad we have you here for sports facts.
Yeah.
Sports.
That's heartwarming. All right. Well, let's get right to the fucking meat of this goddamn disaster. Like I said, you know, when it comes to this, I don't think we're gonna take the kind of the breakdown in terms of like a scene by scene kind of deal. Because again, this is just the Robin Hood story. I would assume that most people have at some point or another seen some sort of Robin Hood deal. So we open 20th Century Fox. Did they ever formally change that to 21st Century Fox?
I have no idea.
I know they did it as a bit in Futurama, I think, or maybe that was 30th Century Fox. Anyway, we open with men shooting fiery arrows. This is a visual that is very much a callback to Prince of Thieves. Yeah. So Robin Hood, Men in Tights. We open on what appears to be an attack on, a hamlet, a village. And people are running about. We get the cast. The fire burns away to every new cast member's name. And it goes on for what seems to be way too fucking long.
One thing about these credits, since it's a Mel Brooks movie, I expected there to be some jokes. So when it said music by Hummy Man, I thought that was a gag. It turns out, no. He is a real person, and he's a composer, and he scored a lot of comedies like Addams Family Values and Sister Act.
Okay. Hummy Man.
I'm sure it's pronounced not that.
Like,
but
I'm the Hummy
reads
Man.
Hummy Man.
Skadee bop beep bada hum. Or he's like, That's the Hummy Man. Yeah, okay. Wee. Okay, so we start. It's a 90s Mel Brooks movie. What could go wrong? We do also get, I forgot to mention this, Isaac Hayes. Briefly in this movie.
Yeah.
Rest in
Achu's
peace.
dead.
Yeah. What? Achu's dead. Yeah.
He's a sneeze.
A sneeze. We'll get to that. So the village is burning. A woman runs out. Oh, no. And it's, get it? We know we're in a movie. This happens every time they shoot a Robin Hood movie. They've got to attack this village. And they gave us our opening line, which is, Leave us alone, Mel Brooks. And he should have. He should have left us all alone.
Sorry,
but he
Travis.
didn't. And here we are. So after that, we cut to the actual opening narration. It is a hip-hop group. Is this an actual group of guys, or are
No.
these just actors?
It's dancers and one guy.
One guy. Is the one guy anyone noteworthy?
No.
Okay. So I want to stop right away because Travis, you mentioned.
I also want to stop right away.
Well, fair. Travis, did you want to talk about anything specific, Joe?
No.
No. Okay. You said that Mel Brooks writes the lyrics to every song in any of his movies, or I'm guessing, like producers. I'm sure he wrote that too. So what was your point of saying that?
Well, okay, because the conversation you and I had was like, well, you're like, The Chronic came out that year.
Right.
Well, okay, if it came out that year, it's not the accepted popular culture yet, right? It has become that, so it's still new.
Yeah, hip hop, like rap, was still
so it's
dangerous
still new
at this point. Yeah,
But also, okay, so we changed this from, the older 80s style rap to what's new in the 90s. How are you going to go, hey, 90 in a ho, ho, ho? That makes it way better. I know you could, but they wouldn't make it silly. This movie's meant to be silly.
I get it, but it's like, it's just bad.
Oh, it's not good.
It's just...
I'm not saying it's good.
My thing was, it's like, okay, if you have at this time, let me be clear, Mel Brooks is like 67 when this is made. He's like 98 now or some shit.
He's like 1,000.
He's infinite years old. So it's like, this is Vince McMahon booking Raw in the fucking 2010s, okay? Sorry, I had to throw it in early. But I just said, look, if you're going to have an old Jewish guy write the fucking rap lyrics, like, get the Beastie Boys to fucking do this.
But again, he has to write it.
But they can perform it. It would be better. Like, that was also their style, the kind of like call and response.
Yeah.
Old hip hop stuff. It just...
This is by far
just
the
cringe.
second worst rap that's ever been in a movie.
Not good.
Yeah.
It's silly.
Joe, you said
that's my only defense.
Second worst.
Second worst.
And the worst being?
Lethal Weapon 1.
Uh-huh.
When Murtaugh invites... What the fuck is Mel Gibson's name?
Anti-Semite Jones.
So, all right, so when he invites Anti-Semite Jones to his house...
Yeah.
And his kids are all rapping...
Mm-hmm.
He takes a turn, and the lyrics are...
And I quote...
I'm gonna find me a fodger, because my name is Roger, and I need to be modgered, and I see through the hodgered. Hootie hana hana.
I appreciate his commitment to the rhyme scheme. I think that could have used like one or two. Did Mel Brooks also write that?
I think Mel Brooks knows words.
That's true. He does. He knows them, and he knows that sometimes when you say one word instead of another word, that's comedy, baby. All right. So we get the intro just basically giving us...
It does go on quite long.
Oh, yeah. It's way too much, but they do they're spinning. We start the whole kind of deal here. The joke of the movie that ain't it kind of gay that these dudes wear tights? Now, I want to be fucking real clear here. That's like a theater thing. First off, these are imaginary characters. We don't know they wore tights. They probably just wore like.
But if you
leggings.
look at all the past, that was one of the jokes that they make when they change this. The line that's going to come up where they take several digs at Kevin Costner. Unlike other Robin Hoods, I can speak with an English accent.
Right.
Well, when they went to different countries, they changed that line because not everybody had watched Prince of Thieves. So I think it was like Hungary or something, they changed the line to, unlike other Robin Hood, I wear tights. Because if you look at all the classic versions of Robin Hood, they're all wearing tights, where Kevin Costner was like out in battle armor. You know,
it was like he had like
tunics.
He was like your classic D&D rogue, right? Maybe some studded armor, you know.
But all pictures of
form-fitting.
Robin Hood was Robin Hood in tights.
Yeah, it's like the Errol Flynn tights.
But like, okay, Errol Flynn wore tights, but that was like a theater thing. Like, I know they're tight fit, like they're tighter pantaloons, but I don't think they had. They didn't have fucking like.
Yeah, they weren't wearing
spandex.
green stockings.
Yeah, like back in the fucking whoop-de-fuck 1300s or whatever the fuck this shit supposedly
12th
happened.
century, which they show for when they go foxing.
That'd be the 1100s.
They send the 12th century fox.
That's right. That makes a dolphin sound.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to. I mean, well, we actually, fuck it. We already did it. Whatever. Who cares about the jokes in this shit? We open, oh God, I keep pressing a button that makes the movie rewind, and I don't want to live in this planet anymore. All right, we get past the dancing scene. We open.
So we immediately start off with typical Mel Brooks being Mel Brooks. We're in, what is it, Jerusalem here?
Yes, Jerusalem.
And the prison owner or guard's name is Falafel.
Mm-hmm. Because he's from he's from the home country, like around the Mediterranean. They like falafel.
I fucking hate it here.
Although, interestingly, so I would actually need to know, is falafel's just more of like a Mediterranean type food, right? And this is the Crusades. So at this point, was Jerusalem run by Muslims? Because this was during the Crusades. So like the holy city is kind of always going back and forth between different things. So is that why it's called? Is this a Jewish joke or a Muslim joke? I don't know. I would have to look at the history.
I don't know if it was researched enough by the guys who wrote. Here's the thing. Now, Mel Brooks had the final right on it, but the way this script got created was through a dentist. So a dentist.
We won't touch him.
No, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna say his name out loud because then we got to talk about another prominent '90s figure. But this dentist, his 12-year-old son saw Prince of Thieves and goes, "Hey, Dad, that would be a funny movie to parody." Okay. So his non-author screenwriting dad goes, I'm a dentist in Hollywood. I know a guy." So and then they write this script, and then they go and somehow it gets in front of Mel Brooks, and he sees it, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna rewrite all this shit.
I'll touch it up, yeah, redo it." Okay,
but that's how this all stemmed from a little kid going, "Hey, that Kevin Costner movie, that'd be cool if you made it funny."
So that kid ruined multiple lives,
right? So like, is this kid like a young Jeffrey Epstein? Like, who is this fucking
it's
monster?
Not that kid. It's the.
All right, we'll touch on it real quick. We won't go into details,
sure.
and we will move on.
Okay.
He was one of the first to take legal action accusing Michael Jackson.
Oh,
which was happening at the same time as this movie was coming out.
I know exactly who you're talking about, and we can move on from it. Okay. I think did we touch on that last?
No, I think I told you about how I found that out.
That's right.
And we talked about whether or not we should deep dive.
Yeah,
on
we'll
it.
just fucking, we're going to move on.
We just won't.
So there is the one shot that I actually remember from this, because I think I remember a lot of like trailer segments, you know, like, oh, this was in the trailer or whatever. The one scene I do remember from however long we were in the theater was right in the very open when they walk over the grate and all the prisoner's hands are coming up and then they all shoot the finger at the same time. That's the one visual that I had of this movie.
And that's probably the 5th sight gag in this movie at like 2 minutes in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So we get Cary Elwes, and he's really just doing Wesley a lot.
Yeah.
Or Wesley a lot in this movie, right?
He's always, if you notice, he's always making a silly face. Like, you never see him with a blank face. He's always got some goofy face on.
Yeah, his voice is always Wesley, and his face is always, I don't want to be here.
I think he's trying his best. And like, I love The Princess Bride. I think he's fantastic in that. And there are moments that I think he works with the material here.
I mean,
And
he's
it kind
usually the best part of every scene.
of, yeah. He has that kind of like cocksure kind of air about him. Like he's not necessarily a straight man, but he's never like overly goofy in this movie.
Yeah, only occasionally.
Yeah, for like effect. Yeah, but like his character is mostly okay. So, talking about kings, they do a King Kong, Larry King, haha. We meet Asniz. His son is Achu Gesundheit.
Oh, they use that multiple. They also do other things with a chew. With when they get to Blinken the first time,
Right. Which okay.
I don't know. I don't think I
can.
can say that. I mean, it's the joke in the movie, but I don't feel comfortable repeating it. It's not bad. But Blinken's like, "Hey, this is a chew," and he's like, "A Jew?"
Oh, right.
Here?
Yeah. Here? Yeah. That was pretty straightforward.
I know it's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm not.
We get Isaac Hayes as a sneeze. We get the one funny like kind of visual thing is where they pull his tongue out. That was a little silly, and they do the big stretch.
Oh, the big stretchy tongue.
And he's going cross-eyed on it. I don't understand. Is the guy who is kind of showing them the prison kind of like a French maitre d' kind of thing?
Yes.
You know, it's like
Yeah, falafel.
That's falafel.
That's falafel.
And he's a guy named Falafel, but he's kind of doing a French thing where he's like, and we have this lovely whatever kind of deal. I don't know what the fuck they're going
Yeah, because
for.
he goes, "If you need anything, just scream." And then a prisoner in the background screams, and he goes, "Coming!"
Yeah, that's right.
And then they escape the prison. You see palm trees in the back because Jerusalem and palm trees.
Yeah, right. Of course. Well, maybe. No, palm trees are.
I've never been there.
Me neither. So I can't
that's
comment.
true.
Yeah. We do see on this desert scene jockeys who are riding atop of camels. And that is the only way I'm going to describe this gag. So
Sports
as
joke.
to
Sports joke.
sure, it's wouldn't it be funny if it wasn't horses and they rode a different animal? And that's all I'm going to say about that. I've said Asniz and Achu come the fuck on. I did like Robin just running into the ocean.
Like he's just gonna swim all the way back to England.
But I almost wish he wouldn't have ever like jumped forward to swim. I wish he would have just tread into the ocean and then you cut.
But that would have been funny.
That's the problem here. There's a few missed. I'm like, the gag's there, but like, we do have pumps. We have like pump sneakers shown.
Now, one thing I did like when he finally gets to England, they have the Hollywood sign on a random hill that just says England.
England.
For some reason, that tickled me.
And that's okay.
I don't know why.
I was like, okay.
So the other gag that's poking fun at Costner is when he starts kissing the sand, and then he gets up and he's like, "Pff, pff." When Prince of Thieves, when Costner does the same thing, gets on land, he essentially like grabs wet sand and just like starts making out with it.
Yeah,
It's
he's like,
very
I
odd.
love it. It's so
Then
good.
he says, "My kingdom for a horse."
Yeah.
And a horse shows up with a guy on top of it, and that guy is Achu.
This is where we get, Dave Chappelle comes in here. He's fine in the movie.
He doesn't really do a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't really. The material's not great, so I don't really necessarily blame him.
He's
but
there just to joke on and
Yeah.
joke off.
Was that
Joke off.
joke off? Okay, just making sure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he rents the horse. So why, like, rent a wreck?
That's
It's
a
horse.
relevant joke.
Like, what if you could rent horses? It's just okay.
Well,
sure.
Rent-A-Wreck's a rental car company.
No, yeah.
From forever ago.
Yeah.
I guess that's a joke.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's okay. Well, all right, we move on. I did like the fact that when it cuts to Robin making his way back there, he's just already in full Robin Hood. Like he was in prisoner stuff, and now he already has the feathered cap. He's in the tights. He's in the whole gimmick.
Well, yeah, he's in England.
Yeah, just
His power's restored.
He just fucking forms on you fully. That's just what people in England look like. Robin and Achu fight away some of the sheriff of Rottingham, get it, soldiers by doing mantis style. Sure.
Do we know why these gentlemen were
The answer to
fighting
that is
Achu?
no matter what you're talking about in this movie. Now go ahead, though.
No, because they don't really explain it. Like Dave Chappelle is just getting his ass whipped by. Now this is also 1992, so I'm wondering, are we shadowing other things? That
Oh,
were
is it
happening?
social commentary? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no,
Maybe.
it definally is.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Does he
'cause
make a gag about it?
He does. Let me see if I made a note for it.
Oh, he does because he literally says Rodney King.
Okay. I mean, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. He's making the joke. It's fine. Whatever.
We didn't write any of these jokes.
Yeah,
We're just telling you the movie.
We're just here
Folks.
to talk about how they're not funny.
Yeah, it's whatever. He shoots the 6 arrows. It was funny kind of when they unfurled into the 6. But like, then he shoots and it just pins the guy to the tree in like a Looney Tunes gag. I thought it would have been way funnier if like all 6 were just gone in this fucking dude's head and just popped it like a watermelon. Not this movie. My movie would be a little different. I like those little, when a movie kind of gives you like just a little pop of ultra violence and then just goes back to being silly. That guy kind of pops me. But getting to another joke that pops me, he finds Loxley Estate or whatever, and they just fucking move it away on horses. And
Now,
this
this part was a clever throwback to his landing in England. He says, "My kingdom for a horse." A horse shows up, they take his kingdom. There's the clever.
That is actually clever.
Yeah.
That's really good. I didn't even think about that.
It's easy to miss in this movie.
Do they call that back, or did you just kind of catch the meaning
No, I
of
just
that
caught
joke?
them. I just caught it.
Well, fuck.
They've never pointed out.
Okay, which is the good way of humor, and sometimes a dumbass like me will miss it. But that's actually really funny.
That was a good one.
Do you think they thought about that though, or because basically what's about to happen is he loses his kingdom, he loses his mom, he loses his dad, he loses his dog,
No.
he loses his cat, he loses his goldfish.
That whole rundown was amazing.
I hated that. And also H&R Blockhead.
Yeah, that was
Man,
pretty cheap.
Mel, like, could you not have passed it by like 1 or 2 more guys? You know,
You could cut every 3 jokes out of this movie and it'd
Yeah.
be so much better.
yeah.
Because we get the good My Kingdom for a Horse thing, but then we have H&R Blockhead and the reveal of Blinken on the toilet.
Right. Just it's a Playboy, but
He's pooping.
he's pooping and assumedly jerking is gherkin. And it's like ye olde Playboy. It actually says ye old Playboy on it. I do like that it's like a weird it's like a
'cause he's blind. He's
impression
gotta be
thing.
able to
It's like
feel it.
braille boobs. That's kind of a funny sight gag. But the whole getting up, I was poop, like I'm so ashamed. I don't know. Some of the physical humor just doesn't do much for me here. Yeah, Blinken, he's blind. Get it? Blinken. Get it? Cricket. All right. So, again,
So
I
Travis,
said,
what's been your funniest moment so far in the movie?
I can't watch this movie and not have it be like little kid me because when Blinken leaves and misses the door, hits the statue, and he goes, "Robin, you lost your arms in war, but you grew some nice boobs."
yeah,
That's silly. It's so silly. It's silly for a child.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
with
yeah.
Dum Brain. That's what happens.
like that got a grin out of me.
Yeah,
like not a
that's-
laugh, got a grin. So my note here is that as Elvis is doing this, I said it's like Brooks told him, "Hey, remember how charming and dryly hilarious you were in Princess Bride? What if you do a similar character archetype but don't do any of that shit?" Like that's just kind of how a lot of this feels. Although he is trying his best, he is like his facial acting, he is
It's
contorting.
constant, yeah.
Like there is never like all muscles in his face are relaxed. Something is always kind of doing something.
There was. So when he hands him the necklace here,
Flops open
it flops open and you can see the key inside.
Okay.
for
which is supposed to
half
be-
a second.
A reveal much later on.
When it breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just pops open here and they left it in.
Yeah, I'm always curious why they didn't just reshoot that. Like,
Or just cut it.
Another
You don't
take.
need to see him put the necklace on.
that's true.
There is another scene. I don't even remember it as we're doing this, but I kind of put like, did they leave that in on purpose? I remember what it is. We'll get to it. All right. So now, as they're standing there, Achu brings the horse, and we meet this child, and it's just a really fucking, also very timely. Again, this was 3 years ago. Home Alone joke. The kid just runs up, grabs his face, does the Macaulay Culkin yell, except this kid's like much older than Macaulay Culkin was
And
in
very
Home Alone.
flaily.
He's flaily and he's like kind of adenoidal in his voice. It's like, like it's just like Kevin McAllister just screamed, and it was that was
a
the
good
thing
scream.
about,
I said it was a good scream,
it was
too.
a good scream, but it's also like that was the iconic thing from Home Alone, but everyone just kind of made it like that's the only thing. It's because he put fucking aftershave on. Like, it's always outside of it. Like, if you have never seen Home Alone, You think it's just Kevin McAllister running
Slapping
around
his
fucking
face.
screaming the whole time, and that's the only time
Right.
that it ever happens.
He's a pretty cool customer throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah, he's like a little sociopath.
Man, he was cool in that scene too. Slicked his hair back, shaved.
Shaved, yeah.
Made the mistake of aftershave though.
Yeah, and now we finally meet the sheriff of Rottingham. Get it?
Got him.
Got his ass. Fucking. They have a showdown. This is actually where I said that you kind of get that bit of Wesley where he kind of owns the sheriff and like flicks his sword out and cuts the thing so he flips under the horse. I'm like, oh, yeah.
It's one
Carrie
of
Ellis is
those
charming.
shining moments where it cuts through.
Yeah. The rest of it though is, it's
Now
kinda
I'm
fine.
really pissed off.
And he says, so
Oh,
after
you're not gonna finish it?
Yeah. What would he? He's like, if I was that close to a horse's underside, I'd be more worried about getting pissed on.
It wasn't even that nice. He said horse's wiener.
He did say wiener?
he does,
Damn.
Dave Chappelle does say the word wiener, which I think is the only time in that man's fucking life he's probably ever said that word. Now someone's going to be like, no, actually in Chappelle's show, he said it because it's very funny because it's a silly word. Anyway.
Wiener's great.
Um,
Tag it.
the group, they turn back the sheriff and his men, and Robin starts to give a speech about what he's here for, what his kind of modus operandi is, and he says, basically protect the people, blah blah blah. And at the very end, he goes, affordable health care. He goes like affordable health care for Saxons and he kind of trails off. It sounds like he's saying an actual word. I could not get it. Do you know? Did anyone
I have
catch
no
it?
idea.
Anyway, Comrade Robin.
And then, in case you didn't get the joke immediately the first time, the little kid goes, "Oh, I have to be going home alone now."
And then once again,
Screams
and runs
flails
away.
and runs.
Because that's the only thing that ever happened in Home Alone.
And now comes the best part of the movie.
I think. Oh, this song.
No, just Amy Yazbek.
Oh yeah, she's great. So I guess I completely forgot this was a quote unquote musical. I think there's
It's like a Felix musical.
Yeah,
There's
it's
one or two songs.
a romp, if you will. A music.
Musical
romp.
adjacent.
We have the camera break through the stained glass
Because
It's a movie.
it has been 15 minutes without a fourth wall break.
Mm-hmm. So we got that. If this is actually her Yazbek's voice, it's pretty good.
It's not.
Okay, I would assume not. So overdubbed, but very good. Nice little song and very earnest. Not even any. I don't think there's any jokes in this song.
No, there's not. This one.
this one,
It's an
no.
earnest like love song. So we get Brunhilde,
Marla Hooch.
doing great
Hooch.
work. We get Maid Marian standing out of the bath, and we see the chastity. I mean, it's not just a belt, but it's like a chastity panty.
Yeah,
like,
whole undergarment.
And okay, why is it Everlast?
Those were the boxing trunks. It was big in the early 90s.
Yeah, I mean, I know what Everlast is, but I'm like,
But why? Maybe it's because
I would think it would just be like, what's a popular
I
lock?
can't justify it.
Yeah, it's just a weird. I don't know. I get it. I get boxing trunks or whatever, but like,
That just in the name
a lock.
Everlast.
yeah,
It's supposed to last forever.
Because it's that
It's
white rap
chastity.
dude.
because you don't know what it's like, or then you really might know what it's like.
That song fucking sucks.
That was Everlast, right?
Yep.
That's
Okay.
Everlast.
Cool. So Maid Marian playing the typical Maid Marian, the pure virginal
Bubbly princess.
bubbly princess. Oh, one day I will meet true love, and they will, give me a good dick and down or whatever, and blah
Very
blah blah.
aloof.
Yeah. So then she kind of looks away. We cut, and we get our first scene featuring Prince John, played by Richard Lewis, who is fucking, I think, pretty great in
And
this movie.
almost died making this movie.
What?
Yeah, he got hepatitis A. Had to be hospitalized.
What the fuck?
He was running a fever of like 106 at one point in this
Holy
movie.
shit!
And it got to the point where Mel Brooks was like, "How do we sneak him out of the hospital on a stretcher on a gurney, get him back down to the set to do shoots, and then get him back to the hospital before anybody could find out?"
Oh, Mel.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't think that happened. I think it was. He was like, we were getting close to the end.
Yeah.
Just got to do some reshoots real quick, bud.
He's like, fucking Richard, it was not worth it, buddy. It was not worth it. He's great in this.
He really is.
He's actually a lot of fun. He meets with the sheriff of Rottingham. Get it? And it's the cowardly Prince John. King Richard's off fighting the Crusades. He wants to take over the kingdom. It's Robin Hood.
Yeah, it's Robin Hood.
What do you want
it's
from
every Robin Hood?
There's probably lots of like little jokes here and there, wordplay. I cannot count them all. Travis, do you have any particular memories of this scene between the sheriff and
again,
Prince John?
like I brought up between us beforehand, if it's something I've missed, and I don't know if it's something I missed in Prince of Thieves, if Alan Rickman was just talking weird.
Oh, right.
Why this guy always
mixes up his words.
Yeah, they're always backwards out of order.
Yeah, and he corrects himself and he gets flustered, and it's like, I guess he's just supposed to be like the doddering buffoon type character in a movie full of buffoons.
Yep.
But
He just has a real...
Yeah, I mean, Alan
pompous-
Rickman never had I don't know if in the movie. Like maybe...
Right. And we also see the start of the ongoing Prince John joke of the moving mole.
That's true. The payoff to that one
It's so good.
popped the shit out of
Yep.
me. We'll get there. I love that.
That was one of the good ones.
So this is the first time Tracy Ullman pops up as Latrine.
One thing I have to say, every set in this movie looks so cheap.
Yeah, it's really... So Spaceballs was the movie before this, right?
Yeah.
That was the most recent. This was 93. I think that was like
While you talk, I will
89.
confirm.
So that movie looked great. Like all the sets and that, the whatever the Death Star equivalent is, like that was all really well done. Yeah, this is kind of your standard fantasy movie fare, but it does
You would
look
expect to
pretty
see...
cheap.
Yeah, it looks like it was... The size of the room is 5x5. Like,
it looks like a theater set. And like sometimes the lighting is that way too. That I think it's just very much like and maybe that's with the fourth wall jokes. We're on a set doing a thing. I don't know. Maybe it's intentional, but Tracy Ullman just having a great fucking time here.
He did do one between those. He did
okay.
Life Stinks in 91.
I have never seen Life Stinks.
I've never seen it.
Never seen that one. So Latrine's whole purpose is she is your stereotypical kind of witch character, fantasy, medieval witch. She wants to fuck the sheriff. That's her thing. So she makes a little potion kind of gimmick for Prince John. She's adding, eyes of newt or whatever. The payoff of that when she gives him the plate and it's just...
Yeah, she's like, that's not a spell, it's your breakfast.
It is just everything on the plate. Like it's not mixed at all. It's just, here's everything we already
All
showed
this
you.
shit with some googly eyes on top of eggs.
she does make the comment. She's like, if you want me to tell your future, get a wish. I'm just your cook. And then slides in the
flop.
plate.
And it's just, we see the egg, the fucking eyes. This visual did pop me. I will say this movie is a little too slow. It's about an hour 40.
Oh, really?
I think. Yeah. It's another one, like cut a 15, 20 out of it. This could have been like animated feature length, like 70 minutes, 80 minutes, not even an hour and a half, tighten it up. Cause it takes a while to get to it. And there's not a lot of story. Like, look, the Robin Hood story, doesn't take that long. You know how I know they could have tightened it to that long? Cause that's how long Disney's Robin Hood is. Like it's an old 70-minute animated feature,
And that's all you need for this story.
Yeah. She does have the cutout, like the cutout of the sheriff, which is very funny.
And his face does change.
Yeah, she
on
goes
the
and like
cutout.
rubs on it, then it cuts back and it's sad.
And he's a sad face.
But we do
Yeah.
find out about her name, which I thought was a good joke.
It's a good one. Would you like to
I
say
would
the
love
joke
to.
on the movie?
When Prince John goes, Latrine, that's an interesting name. And then she goes, yeah, we changed it. He goes, you changed it to Latrine? Yeah, it used to be Shithouse.
Mhm.
I thought that was funny.
There's a guy I follow on Twitter. It's Ryan Lost in Texas. I know I forget what is it. If his name's Ryan, he's very funny. He has like a thing where he tweets. He goes, a guy goes into the judge and he goes, "Sir, my name is Bob Penis, and I want to change my name." And it's like, well, of course. What would you like to change it to? He's like, Mark Penis. It's like, of course, that's the preposterous name. What would you like to change it to? Mark Penis. Anyway, or something like that. So yeah, we cut back. A lot of sight gags with the cutout of the sheriff.
Oh, now we're to the stupid bridge.
Yeah, I did enjoy Dave Chappelle. We're at this is the iconic Robin Hood story when he first meets Little John. Little John is kind of, doing a toll on a bridge. Robin Hood challenges him to a friendly spar to cross the bridge, and then he eventually joins the Merry Men. This is a tiny creek. I live in Houston. This is what the creeks look like in my neighborhood. That's in the heart of the city in the summer. There's no water. Dave Chappelle does lampshade this by kind of going out and being like, why don't you just simply walk over here? You don't need to use the bridge.
I'm on the west side.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the fight happens. I think Carrie Elwes must really love doing sword fight choreography.
They did a bunch of sword fight training for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would assume he also did for Princess Bride.
The guy who did all the combat fighting, all the sword fighting, is actually who turned out to be who they hired to be Little John.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And because that's interesting, because I looked, and out of all the people, he had no IMDb.
He was the combat coordinator. He was the guy teaching them how to sword fight, how to bow fight.
Wait, which one was?
Little John.
The guy on the bridge?
Yeah.
The one from Home Improvement?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was in Home Improvement?
Yeah, he was one of the construction guys. That would
the ones
show
that
up
played
every now and
music?
again.
Okay. Yeah.
And he was in a Disney show I forgot the name of.
But as you guys would probably have preferred it.
Let me hear your can we all do the Tim Allen noise? Okay.
Oh, there you go. That's
Okay.
good.
Ba-dum-bum.
So why was this guy hired? Did they have anyone else in mind to play Little John?
They did, who chose to go a different direction and star in his own movie, Mr. Nanny.
The
one infamous Hulk.
Terry
Hulk Hogan.
Bollea.
Brother Jack.
Brother Jack dude.
Not brother friend.
No, not brother friend, brother Jack.
That might have been weird if Little John had, listen here, brother.
And he wouldn't have put over Wesley.
That's true. You Robin Hood trying to roll me up, dude. Not gonna work for me, brother. No Robin Hood push, dude.
Hogan does not job on his own bridge.
No, this is his territory, dude. Anyway, all right, we move on.
We move on from hating Hulk Hogan.
The next Merriman, which I thought the name was good for the next guy.
Will Scarlet.
Will Scarlet.
O'Hara.
O'Hara. We're from Georgia.
It's a Gone with the Wind joke.
Timely.
Yeah.
That's actually,
But-
that is classic Brooks.
You know who that dude really is?
The guy who played Will Scarlet?
Yeah.
No.
The voice of Alan Wake.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
And I love Alan Wake.
I've never played either game, but I hear they're good.
They're so fun.
Yeah, I need to. They're like a detective kind of game thing, right? You do some investigation. I'm totally wrong.
You're totally wrong.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, at the heart of it, it's an investigation, but really it's more fighting monsters with flashlights.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a horror-ish.
Yeah, it's
type
more
deal.
survival horror, but
Okay.
fun.
All right. Yeah, I didn't care for the O'Hara thing, but I get it. That's a very classic kind of deal. I don't remember if it's this fight, but at some point someone tries to jump, and we definitely got the line from the trailers where Dave Chappelle goes, "Man, white men can't jump."
Yep.
And that's one of the ones I'm like, that was absolutely in the trailer for this movie. Because I know I heard that 1,000 times.
And that movie came out a whole year before this movie.
White
so
Men
it was
Can't Jump?
technically still a timely reference.
I'd say that's timely. Yeah.
It feels horribly dated now.
Right.
Well, they just remade that movie.
They did.
They did?
White Men Can't Jump. Mm-hmm.
Was it this
good?
year?
Is Rosie Perez in it?
No.
Then they fucked up.
Of course they did. If you can't have someone go, words that start with the letter Q, then I don't want to see that goddamn movie.
If they're rebooting Harrelson, why didn't they do Money Train? Money Train was awesome.
Rebooting what?
Harrelson movies?
Oh, Woody Harrelson movies. Yeah. What's he up to? He was on
Zombieland 2?
Yeah,
he was
True Detective.
He was supposed to be. Well, he may be in Venom 2 that comes out next year because he was in the end credit scenes.
I never saw Venom 1.
On Venom 1, he plays the end of Venom 1. Eddie Brock goes to interview a psychopathic killer who has
Carnage.
hair. Yeah, it's Carnage.
Yeah.
So at the end, but that is Woody Harrelson could be playing Carnage. I don't know who's starring in Venom 2.
Like the voice of Carnage or something? Or was he was the prisoner?
He was the guy who then the symbiote will bond with.
Oh, because the prisoner is, it's in the
He's
serial
a serial
killer guy,
killer,
and then the symbiote will go into the
what
other
he
guy.
said, the last thing he goes, yeah, when I get out of here, and I will get out of here.
Oh, no.
There will be carnage.
I just realized eventually we're going to watch Kingpin.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
I did not care for
I was
that
like,
movie.
Travis probably liked Kingpin.
Actually,
I liked Kingpin.
I
when
think
was a kid.
Kingpin's good. I think actually I hated it when I was younger because I didn't get a lot of the jokes because I was a dumb little idiot. And then I
Or a
watched it
child.
later. Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of funny.
How do we get Quaid back again for a second time?
Oh no.
We got there is so after this scene, I mean, we basically get the formation of the Merry Men. What's funny is that it's like if you're playing an RPG and it's like, welcome new characters, and you're like, you send them back to the hub and just keep going solo. Like that's what this whole thing is. Like, the Merry Men are here. Do we get any scenes of them being the Merry Men together? It's like, nope. Robin's like, gotta do this alone, guys. Glad
Walk
I
on
recruited
home,
you.
boy.
And he tries to jump on the horse, falls off. We get the white men can't jump line. We cut to
One of the jokes that popped me so hard
Yes.
is him putting the club on the goddamn horse.
The club on the horse is very funny.
It's so good. It's so oversized. It's
just
ridiculous.
It makes no sense. Kind of like the actual club. Although I eventually figured out how the club worked, and for the longest time
you couldn't turn it all the way.
couldn't turn it. A horse
Horse, if you turn it that
can
far, you're
just
killing
move.
the horse.
Yeah, the horse can simply move. So we get to a feast scene. The mole on Prince John's face has moved down to his the bottom of his or top of his lip, left side of his face. Robin Hood comes in here with a dead boar, throws it on the table, in a great little throwaway line read. Prince John goes, "Trafe." So it's not kosher because it's pig. That was some good shit. Just trafe. So get that. Robin Hood challenges Prince John, or excuse me, the sheriff to a duel. He grabs a fucking metal gauntlet that is just laying on the table. Because, Prince John, or the sheriff does the whole like, "Sir, I challenge you to a duel."
I
Takes off his
demand
glove.
satisfaction.
Yeah. And then he just picks up this enormous
Gauntlet.
gauntlet and just cracks it across his face. That was pretty good. This scene actually has a lot of like, I think some pretty good visual humor in it. I
think this movie's like a sandwich with like moldy bread.
Yes. And I actually think I commented that to you. I was like, this movie gets better in the middle part.
Yeah, which is weird.
Weird for pacing issues. Like you think it's going to start hot, end hot, and the middle part is eh. This is like all the gold's in like the middle third. Yeah. So they have the showdown. The point that I was going to talk about when earlier you mentioned how the locket popped open and the key showed, and you're like, they should fucking keep that in. At one point, one of the guards, they're like fighting, and the helmet that they're wearing should be a very heavy steel helmet that covers the whole head. It just pops off, and you see it kind of like.
Also, when they're running in, one of their leg pieces falls off.
Yeah, just a shitty little. I didn't catch that. I want to see it. But like these shitty little costumes, and they're like, "Fuck it." Mel Brooks is like, "I'm not doing another."
When all the full armor soldiers come in a row, one of their leg pieces just flops off.
Are you talking about the ones with like the kind of like the Demon Souls ass helmets, so pointy face helmets?
And when he yells guards, then like the doors open, they all file in. Before they do the dominoes gag.
Yeah,
that's right. I think
that right there is
Wrong
going to
rope.
trigger one of my favorite lines of this movie that for whatever reason I still use today.
to give the context, it was when Robin cuts the chandelier rope.
Cuts the rope and the chandelier falls on himself instead. So before the domino, once they then yell guards and all the big armored up knights come in to take care of that problem, they use the domino trick where he then grabs a rope, tugs on it, and he goes, right rope. For whatever the fucking reason, I've been saying that for 30 goddamn years.
Right rope.
Anytime something good happens, I go, right rope. I don't.
It's weird how that kind of shit like sticks in your brain.
That's for 30 years. I just, right rope.
Okay. There's another, actually, now I remember it. There is yet another thing in this scene that I'm like, is this intentional? Is the exit sign over one of the doorways in the stairwell. There's a glowing green.
Yeah, no, that's a joke.
Is it?
Yeah.
When do they make that joke? I
No,
must have
it's
missed
just the
that.
sight gag.
Oh, it's
You're
just
just
a
supposed
sight
to see it
gag.
and be like, oh, haha.
Okay, because
It's a castle. Yeah,
but it's never really like the focus of a shot. It's always kind of in the background, and I'm like,
No, it's just there to be silly.
okay. Because I'm also like, whenever we watch a movie like this, I also have to think of like aspect ratio, weird shit or whatever.
Oh, yeah, true.
So I'm like, was that just out of shot in everything they did? And you can just kind of, maybe this is a slightly wider, who knows? But yeah, we have Blinken does try to get involved in the fighting and just chops down a pillar, and it's they do that gag for like,
They do that so many times in this movie too.
it's like 5 shots of him hitting this thing.
And they keep panning back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do this gag multiple times where they have the big power fan going and someone's throwing sawdust into it.
Yes.
They do it later they already did it with the arrows with Scarlett O'Hara.
Yeah.
Then they do it now, and they do it again later. And it's just lazy.
I did think the good line was when, so during the fighting, Robin and Maid Marian duck under the table, and she's basically starts talking about like, I can't be with someone like unless I am married or with them for like a very long time. Or
You're saying she's as horny as Felix.
she's as horny as Felix, but it's this line, the line thing where it's like, or if I just think they're cute or something like that. Like the thing about like walking back her own rules about virginity, I thought was actually very, very funny.
Oh, Yazbek rules.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
I just finished
in
my
this.
rewatch of Wings, and I already miss her.
Yeah.
She's so good.
How many seasons is Wings?
8.
God damn.
Yeah.
And that's like one of those old shows where like a season is like 55 episodes.
Basically, yeah, I think some of them have up to like 28.
Jeez.
TV it was a different time.
It really was.
But yeah, so this scene is obviously the merry men come and save the day, and the king is cowardly and ashamed, and etc., so on and so forth. Little John does chuck the door brace.
Oh, here we go, guards.
Okay.
Yep,
I just saw it.
Yep.
Yep.
There it goes.
Yeah, the little leg thing falls off. Wow. High quality shit.
Real
here.
pro shit.
You gotta assume that he saw it and it was like, that's fucking hilarious. Leave it in.
Or it's just like, we don't have the budget to redo this.
Right? Or we can't do another shot. I would assume, given the nature of the comedy, it's probably like, that's kind of funny.
This probably is like a Vince McMahon thing. It's just whatever Mel Brooks, whatever pops him, he just keeps.
He just keeps it in there. Yeah, absolutely. So now we get the domino gag. The scene is much longer than I remember it. But, you know, it's funny. They all fall down like toy soldiers. Remember that song by Martika?
Yep.
And then Eminem sampled it.
I did not know that part.
Yeah, Eminem did a sample of.
I have not kept up with Eminem.
I hadn't, and then I heard it because I always loved Toy Soldiers because it's like a really weird nostalgia song for me. Because I remember my sister playing it in our old home when I was like 4 years old, and I was like, oh yeah, and a lot of people don't remember the song, and so then I heard a fucking really shitty Eminem song where it's like, it was kind of after he had kind of fallen out of being like the hottest shit. But before he kind of made his like old man comeback, where like he kind of came back a little bit ago with like, there was that Rihanna song, you know, now I'm staring out the window. That's why they call it window pane.
Did he come back?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so. I don't listen to the radio. My musical taste is basically stuck forever in the Free Jack era of 2009.
My wife made me finally get Spotify, so I'd quit using my iPod from 2010.
Hell yeah.
So now I just listen to really bad stuff I used to listen to all the time.
Okay. And you don't let it ever make recommendations for
And
you?
K-pop.
Okay. Hey, do you like Blackpink?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
NMIX is my current favorite, though.
NMIX?
Yep.
Okay, haven't heard that.
Good lineup.
Okay, cool. Good. Love it.
Yep.
Love an idol group.
Oh, yeah, same.
Yeah. We should watch Perfect Blue. Robin is now, after that escape, he wants to get back and actually do, you know, save Maid Marian, blah, blah, blah. Again, it's the Robin Hood story. He does a
The worst gag in the whole movie.
lend me your ears.
And they throw ears
And
at
they
him.
pluck them off, throw them at him.
Travis, why?
Travis is laughing, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Not seeing it for the first time. If you were 12 years old and somebody goes, lend me your ears, you've never thought, oh shit, they're going to take their ears off and throw them at somebody. Nobody thinks that when you're a little kid. So as a child, that was funny. Dumb brain.
Because you maybe you'd heard that before.
Of course you heard it. Everybody heard
Yeah,
it.
you've heard the
Julius
ladies and gentlemen
Caesar, yeah.
lend me
Yeah.
your ears.
Friends, Roman countrymen.
Travis,
But then
you're on trial
he
here.
also goes, he does straight up Winston Churchill.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like, wow, wow, wow. He just gets like the weird British
That's
accent.
Winston Churchill's
yeah.
speech.
Yeah. Okay.
So they steal 2 speeches in this scene.
Yep, and then that
well,
one
3
fails.
technically. Julius Caesar,
Oh, yeah.
then Winston Churchill, and then we're getting to it,
Yep.
Malcolm X.
Not even really Malcolm X. Denzel Washington in the movie Malcolm
playing
X.
Malcolm X. Yeah, the bamboozled. You know, it's
Yep.
we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
That's another one that I tend to say a lot is been bamboozled.
yeah.
Just that's
Bamboozled is a fun word.
It really is.
It's a thick word that's fun to say.
I like my words thick.
Bamboozled. Bamboozled. Anyway. Yeah, I hated that. So we did the Malcolm X deal. I do like, and this we get this training scene where now they're, the Merry Men are training the villagers of I guess the Sherwood area, teaching them how to shoot arrows, teaching them how to sword fight. At one point, Will Scarlet is showing them how to do stuff, and when he's done, he just walks by Robin, and Robin just hands him a little treat like he's a dog, and he eats it out of his hand. Real, out of nowhere, little sight gag that I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. That's the kind of absurd shit that I love. So yeah, and also I do like the fact that Achu's hat is a snapback cap, like that. Nice little touch. Otherwise, yeah, we're just getting ready.
Otherwise, it should have been a montage.
Yeah, it should have been a montage.
I do like that when they practice jousting, it's with the giant cans of modern things.
Yeah,
fruit
like
cocktails.
Campbell's soup, fruit cocktail.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. I mean, we're making a movie. There's little bits here and there.
Yeah, it has moments. That
I'm
make
not
you
going to
laugh.
say I never laughed. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
I'm not going to say I never laughed. I laughed plenty in this, but it's just about how often those laughs come. And I guess
They come a lot faster when you watch it at 2 times speed.
that is true. They do come a lot faster.
They come a lot faster.
So in this scene, this is where we get the payoff for the joke, where Prince John is in the bathtub. The sheriff looks at him and goes, "Sir, I think your mole." Did he say? I think your mole moved, or I think something is
Or I think
different with your mole.
Change sides, or
Yeah, and
the best read in the movie.
he just looks, eyes agape. I have a mole.
I have a mole.
Perfect payoff to that fucking joke.
It's so good.
It was great.
That was good timing. They built it up, let it sit, then hit you with it.
Yeah, and then it's just boom.
This
done.
also is leading right now. So Rottingham is in a catapult. They're going to clearly launch him with it.
Wee.
And this leads to one of my favorite pops.
He should have made the goofy noise.
He lands in the room of Latrine. Latrine immediately dives on him. He gets the hell out of there as fast as he can. She looks right into the camera and goes, "I touched it." I'm simple, man. That made me pop.
She's funny. And Tracy Ullman is just, again,
She's so good.
fantastic. For some reason, I thought she had passed away. She is not. She's doing fine.
Oh, good.
So let's say about that. Mel Brooks. We have Mel Brooks's cameo as
Replacing Friar Tuck as a rabbi.
as Rabbi. Does he have a name?
If he did,
Would it be
I
like
didn't pay enough
Tuckus?
attention.
Would that be like, that seems like
It
kind of
may
a
be on the
Yiddish joke.
side of his circumcision wagon.
Yeah. So he immediately comes up, is confronted by Robin and the Merry Men. This is basically the only time his character really is. This is a standalone scene. And Mel Brooks just pops up to immediately make a gay joke.
Yep.
And then be like, "I have sacramental wine, but we can bless whatever you want to. Let's all go get drunk." And that's basically
There was another clever joke
The term
here.
he used was verschnickened.
Fishnickened.
We've got birds. We've got squirrels.
Let's get fishnickened.
There was a clever joke. He's talking about the circumcisions, and Achu goes, "I already have one of those," which was good research for the character because he would have been Moors or from Moors.
That's true.
And so he would have already had one.
Yeah.
And I'm really surprised that they put that much thought into this.
That's good. See, that's why I was having the question about the fucking falafel thing earlier. Just, you never know how much
I
thought
think they
went
spent
into
all their energy on this one.
it. Okay, you're probably right. While Mel Brooks is here, he also does the one wordplay joke that he had to get off about Robin of Locksley
Oh, no.
and Maid Marian of Bagel.
Yes.
And he's like, "Locksley and Bagel, a match made in heaven." Get it? Bagel and Locks?
Look,
You guys ever been to a
Loxley's
deli?
been there. No one's ever given Maid Marian a last name before.
That's true. She's just Maid Marian. That's probably not true. I bet she has a canonical
Well,
last
it's
name.
dog shit now because it's Baguette.
because it's Bagel.
It's a better last name.
Bagel.
Because he didn't come up with Loxley. He
I used to
just
love bagel bites.
And now we cut.
rolled with it.
After that scene is done, bagel bites are fucking
awesome.
Pizza in the morning
Pizza in the evening.
and at supper time.
When pizza's on a bagel,
You can have pizza anytime.
Fucking
pay us, Bagel Bites.
no gods, no masters. It's anarchy, baby, and I love it. we cut to
The best scene
the best
in the
scene
whole
in the movie is Dom DeLuise. God bless him. God rest his soul. I think he's passed away. Right?
I don't know if his kid's funny too.
I think Dom DeLuise is no longer with us. If he is, my apologies, but I'm just going to go ahead and say rest in peace. He's just doing a Brando. Now, he's specifically doing The Godfather.
He died in 2009
There we go.
in Free
Okay.
Jack.
He died in it really is the worst future. They got him. They got Tommy boy. But what's funny is now for the second movie, because he's specifically doing, The Godfather, he then starts doing a bunch of Brando and does the I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender, which is what that weird dinosaur monster said in Felix the Cat out of nowhere.
Nice.
So it's the second time that someone has just said the fucking whatever that movie was that I always forget the fucking name of it. Was it On the Waterfront? Whichever one. That classic Brando line, I could have been a contender.
So, funny thing about this, he introduces his two sidekicks. The one that can't talk, Dirty Enzio,
Dirty Ezio.
was originally, they were just going to call him Dirty Harry.
Uh-huh.
That was going to be his original name. The reason they changed it is Mel Brooks'
'Cause
Italian
lawsuits?
director friend came, and they happened to be hanging out while they were shooting the scene.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I'm just going to call him your last name instead.
So the guy's name is just Ezio?
His Dirty Ezio, because he was originally supposed to be Dirty Harry, because
Right.
that's exactly what he looks like.
Yeah, because he
He's
looks
trying to
exactly
put-
like fucking
What's
Clint
the
Eastwood.
other guy's name? Like his other sidekick, I guess?
Yeah, his other goon.
The one who does the Luca Brasi read and does it so well.
Yeah.
With the, I hope your first child is a masculine child. I died.
It might have been like Luca. Like, it might have been.
I went back and rewatched the original scene after this because I was like, there's no way it was that fucking flat and bad.
Uh-huh.
It's
And it was absolutely
Perfect.
that flat and bad.
Yeah. So awkward and bumbling. It was so good.
This was a fantastic scene. Dom DeLuise is just always a fucking treat. He was
he's-
Pizza the Hut too, right?
Was he?
I think he was.
That's awesome.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But I thought he might have been. I'm probably wrong. Oh well. Anyway.
But then they have to make his lizard joke at the
He
end.
was voiced by Dom DeLuise.
Boom. Got it. Okay. He
Nice.
was he voiced Pizza the Hut. Okay.
Or next time pizza is going to send out for you. Spaceballs fucking ruled.
Spaceballs is right. We watch Spaceballs, you asshole.
I know all
you
of
fucking
Spaceballs.
prick, Travis. Yeah, I would have been so happy to watch that one.
5-6 stars. Break the scale.
Oh yeah, easy, right away. Yeah, he gets the lizard joke off, and it's okay, man. I don't know. It's
Again,
There's that.
I do like they get the little lizard.
Yeah, the shittiest looking lizard
Love
puppet.
it. Fuck it. Why not, man? At some point, they just say this fruit Robin Hood. So got that line
Way to go, Mel.
right out there. Good job, Mel.
Yeah.
We had the earlier one, because it's gay to wear tights.
Apparently,
It's
it's also very comfortable.
we're gonna get to that.
I don't know if y'all have ever worn joggers, but they're a delight.
They're nice, man. Get some tight shit. Get you some support.
Yeah,
It's
nice snugs.
important.
I got no problem. I wore tights as tights and bloomers in a third grade play when I played the King of Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in a fucking couple of shitty little high school plays that had to wear some
course you
tights,
were.
man. I know. Can you believe I was a theater kid?
I was in
I can't. I hung out with
the pit.
theater kids. If you saw me in the morning before school, I was sitting right out the table right outside. A lot of my friends were the theater kids.
Yeah.
I
That's
worked
cool,
at
man.
I worked at TCBY
No shit.
junior year of high school
Holy
with
shit.
all theater kids. So anytime they had a production or whatever, I wasn't the manager.
Uh-huh.
I was 17 years old, long hair past my shoulders,
Mhm.
just fucking tech decking, fingerboarding on the back of the ice cream things. And then if they had a show the night before, show that night, I'd show up for Saturday morning.
Uh-huh.
Nobody's there because all the theater kids went out and got drunk. They're like, yeah, we're not coming to work today.
Oh,
I was like, cool, day off for me, bud.
that rules.
So yeah, I did get in trouble because apparently you shouldn't cook Hungry Man dinners in the microwave in the back of a TCBY because it
Good
makes
to
the
know.
whole thing
Is the
smell
smell?
like Hungry. Once I found that out, I did it multiple times.
What,
I
just
also
run
had a
the-
scare.
Run the customers off?
No, I was trying to tech deck, bud.
Yeah, buddy. Trying to get a fucking ollie perfected
Look,
here.
So I did find out TCBY had Arthur from PBS co-branded ice cream. Well, one of them was
all blowing my mind.
DW's Cotton Candy. It was pink and blue ice cream.
Yeah.
Well, not thinking about it, all of a sudden, because TCBY, you go back and like you can make shakes and stuff too. I just started shitting purple for like a week. Could not figure it out. I was freaking out. Then one day I'm sitting there losing my mind over it as it work. I'm like, oh, pink and blue. I'm good.
As you're spooning it into your mouth.
All I've been eating is DW's Cotton Candy ice cream for a week.
That'll fucking do it, man.
That'll do it.
It's like how if you ever eat crunch berries, like you're gonna have the weirdest like toxic green shit for like a couple days.
Remember when they made the Hulk burger? Wasn't that what it is?
No, it was the Halloween black bun.
The Halloween black bun burger, and you and Quentin went and got them?
We got them, and as soon as I got to work the next day, I was like, yo, dude, you shitting green? He was like, yep. And I was like, okay, all right, we're good. Because it wasn't black food coloring, it's just a lot of green food coloring
To
that
make
makes
it dark.
the buns look black. Yeah.
That's
I immediately
hilarious.
came to him that next day, that morning. I was like, yo, dude, you shitting green?
Yo, dude.
He was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, bud,
Yo,
cool.
dude, you shitting green, dude? Whom amongst us has not had to ask their friend? if
You
they're
gotta
shitting green?
ask.
You gotta find out. Yeah.
If I'm
It could just be you.
Yeah. What if I'm just shitting green?
Well, for a week, I thought I was just shitting purple.
That's true.
I told no one.
You had to deduce that.
And now
You
I've
didn't have a
told
friend to
everyone.
check with.
Yeah.
now you've told the world, apparently.
It's on record.
We move to a scene where Maid Marian has pinned down Brunhilde to escape to go meet up with Robin and the Merry Men. She does, I guess, because she has her, her lock on. I mean, she would have absolutely obliterated her hymen by jumping onto the horseback from that height. Just saying, maybe it was protected.
Yeah, this is like a 2-story fall onto a horse.
Yeah, split-legged. Also, she's wearing the Everlast. It also could have just broken the horse in half. Like, the horse is just immediately made lame by this.
And then Broomhilda jumps off, the horse moves, and she just would have died.
Yeah.
But instead, she just cracks the pavement.
Yeah, of course, because we got to do a fat joke.
Yep.
On
someone just clearly wearing a fat suit.
Right, exactly. Also, the horse's name is Farfignugan, which, like, that was a thing in the time because the Volkswagen ads or whatever. But that's like a thing that no one talks about anymore. But it was very like a 90s, like, oh, Farfignugan, what a funny word.
Wasn't that like a code word or something in Love Potion No. 9, that Sandra Bullock movie?
Probably.
That's all I remember.
People
about
just loved to make fun of the word Farfignugan, which means something, but I don't exactly remember what it is. We are about to get the Men in Tights song, but not before we get the cool gag of Blinken falls out of his watch spot because he was going by sound, and he hits it and goes, "I can see," and then immediately walks right into a tree, and he's like, "Ah, shit," and then starts to wander around blind again.
And so this song, the Men in Tights song, it aged like milk. It is so bad.
They say we look like sissies.
Yep.
Do they? Like,
Not
they've
really.
got like fucking swords on and shit.
They got beards.
They got, like, it's just
Mel Brooks just hates tights.
we get it. It's just the tights are kind of gay. They do the Rockettes.
They do a yes with a lisp.
Yes. Yeah, they kind of do that whole thing. And they limp the wrist when they do it, It's like, okay, get it? But it's just funny to me that, like, even assuming you're like, yeah, tights is gay though, but it's like, I don't know, man. They got like leather gherkins and fucking swords and crossbows and shit. Like, looks pretty manly. I don't know. Like, not even to get into a conversation about what it is to be stereotypically masculine. It was like,
no, not this podcast.
I don't know, man. Like, fuck, they're tough.
Yeah.
Well, John's in there,
Remember 92. Guys weren't wearing tights in 92.
That's true.
That's true. Baggy jeans was the thing still.
Yeah.
That's true. Everyone was just doing heroin. And then we very quickly move to another song. That
Which
Joe is your
rules.
Yeah, this is you were blowing up the group chat about this song.
So the song is "The Night Is Young," and I watch a lot of 30s and 40s musicals.
That's where it's from.
Because they're amazing. And this is some straight up like Weekend in Havana, like Alice Faye, John Payne shit. I live for it. It's great. It's by Arthur Rubin, and Elvis is just lip syncing, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
And they ham it up so perfectly because this is literally how these movies go.
Oh yeah.
Randomly loud ass singing at each
Just
other.
Yeah, just
Yep.
fucking full throated,
And just right in their face.
And the visual gag here where it's blowing her hair back.
Yep. They got a lot of work out of that one fan.
They did. They rented it for like 3 days. Brooks is like, how many shots can we fit this in?
They got their money's worth.
So the payoff, the visual gag of the payoff is that Robin's sword hilt begins to tilt up, and they're kind of behind. Marion and Robin are behind a sheet that's backlit by a campfire. So it looks like he's just gotten a insanely huge boner from
a terrifying erection.
Yeah, that would have. I mean,
Terrifying.
monstrous. Like it's just no one know. You can't even work with
We're
that
in
much
footage here.
Yeah, you can't work with that. It would be. I mean, whatever. I'm not gonna touch on the jokes.
The blood movement would make him pass out.
He would immediately die. The thing about this to me though is what I think is funny, other than like it's a haha gag, but like this actually seems like this would be the kind of gag that would be like some Punch and Judy shit, like in actual medieval times, like some crass.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, what if the Robin Hood was fucking the mate? Like, and there's doing this, and there's a bunch of like Witcher 3 NPCs just throwing coppers at it, and then the thing drops. It's like, oh, it's open, they be fucking, like that kind of thing. But yeah, the song was great.
You make Renfest sound real crusty.
Have you been to Renfest?
Not since I was 10.
Buddy, it's crusty.
I used to camp. We used to go camp there.
Yes.
Once a year, we'd go there for the weekend after Thanksgiving because you got the extra day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we would go just to hang out with the crazies because most of the people who are camping there are the staff.
Ew.
So it's people who've been
carnies.
camping there for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And all the other weirdos that just want to come out and be an elf. I saw an elf wedding behind me. It's bananas. It is bananas.
Fucking rules. Okay? Like, look, I've never been like a Ren Fair guy. Okay? Like, I'm a nerd. Like, I do Dungeons and Dragons and I fucking whatever. But I was never like a Ren Fair guy. And a couple years ago, I had some friends who always go. They're like, we got a costume, like a little fucking tunic and some shit for you to wear. Come with us. We went, we camped. And man, the camping, it's fucking wild. Like, there's a huge bonfire. People are just naked, like dancing around the fire. It's like a goddamn Black Sabbath going on. I'm blackout drunk on my friend had made like homemade ale. And just in these like big glass jugs, I'm just fucking sitting them. At one point, I just spike one on the fucking ground, and no one fucking does anything. I hope no one cut their foot. I'm sorry in case you did. And I was so drunk. I just remember someone had made a little like a flower crown, and I was just walking around with it like on my head, just drunk. And I was just sitting down, and an elf guy was like hitting on me, and I was like, hey man, it's all good, not for me, but I was like, I got hit on by an elf. This fucking rules. Like, what an experience. When have you been hit on by an elf?
Never.
Yeah, well,
So you have fun things that you can do. I like to go to social events and then drink heavily also.
Yeah.
So what I did the last time we camped out there, the Thanksgiving one is the Christmas themed weekend.
Yeah.
So I wore my kilt and my Santa blouse, and I had my big beard at the time. So I walked around as like Renaissance Santa, right?
Mhm.
Well, I also had a giant 5-foot staff,
Yeah.
hollowed out, little straw on the inside. Just poured that thing full of whiskey.
Oh, there
Old
you go.
Uncle Bubba's just walking around sipping stick whiskey all day.
Oh, yeah.
It was snowing. I was having a blast.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, was
Yeah.
it one of those like years where it fucking snowed?
This would have been in 2015. is
Yeah.
when it snowed. That was
that's
great.
awesome. That would have been awesome too, to Ren
There
Fair
were
with
people like,
snow.
you're not cold. I'm like, dude, I'm drunk as shit. No, I'm not cold.
No,
Are you high?
I don't feel things right
I
now.
don't feel anything. Yeah, and it's like, so daytime Ren Fair is like drunk and like you're eating your turkey legs or whatever. Nighttime is like when the freaks come to play and everyone's on hallucinogens.
It's a rave. It's Burning Man.
Half of the people are on mushrooms or acid, and it's like fucking fun.
So it's just fucked up theater nerds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That
It is
sounds
the
like my nightmare.
it is the logic. Joe. Well, Joe. Yeah, you don't drink, and
I'm kind of a buzzkill.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't have fun at all, but it
No,
is
it's
a
like-
blast.
Can I go home?
Yeah, if you've
You know what else is fun? Indoors.
Yeah, it was fun.
Dude,
It
can
did
you
camp and it
bring-
rained that night.
I know
though.
they have the quiet section where like they have the family camping where you have to be. Can you bring trailers into the?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what happened. Like I had a tent, but like it was two of my friends both have like big campers and just got a big shared campground, and like a couple of us had big tents with like blow up mattresses or whatever.
Oh, the last time I went, we just had tents, but I had one of those like 70-person tents that you could park a car in.
Yeah, yeah.
I had 2 of like the easy up canopies. We got a sign made for the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Where we then also purchased the horns. You go, so I still have it upstairs.
Horn.
So our whole thing was Horn Wars.
Horn wars with the war horns?
No, so like throughout the night, me and my buddy would just go like middle of the night.
Nothing. It's no soul me. Oh, okay. And so everyone wanted to kill you.
So bad.
Yeah.
So we were having a blast. We didn't give a shit.
It was, I don't know if we were in the quiet section.
No, we weren't in the quiet section.
Yeah.
I can't say. I go all the way back to where I'm back on the tree line.
Yeah,
Because I don't
yeah.
like people being behind me.
Right. Okay. Do you always take the power seat in a fucking restaurant?
I try
Like
to.
you're a fucking mob boss? You don't want to get hit?
I sit in the back, face the
You don't
front.
want to get fucking Tony Soprano? Spoilers.
I thought so. We'd always get against the tree line. Well, then we found out you can go through the trees, and that's where they have weird ass elf weddings. And
Yeah.
shit, like in the
Yeah, the weird ones hang out in the forest.
That's the Feywild out there. You know what I mean? Like you're fucking.
So I'm on the edge.
Yeah. Also, I like I don't want anyone to be behind me, but it's like a bear could be behind.
Nah, that's
you.
good. I have
No, bears are
here.
cool. They party.
Yeah, coyotes. You know. I don't think we have coyotes.
I have
as far
guns.
as-
I'm not worried about animals.
Okay. Do you go packing at the Ren Fair?
I don't carry it on me, but it's always in the car.
I keep that
You
thing
don't just
on me.
like cast spells.
Yes.
Yeah, this lightning bolt, but it's just a fucking gun. There's that fucking meme of Kermit the Frog with a wizard hat holding a pistol. He's like, "Behold, the most powerful spell of all. Are you ready to meet God?" That's just you at the Ren Fair.
So if there's any unsolved murders at the Ren Fair,
Yeah, it would not be.
Don't
Travis.
look this way.
It would not be him. I guarantee you, there's scarier fucking
he's a
people out
white
there.
mage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Back to the movie.
there was I made a note here, and I think it's Elvis doing something, but it's like twerific is like the payoff of it, where it's like
It was.
it was twan
that was
and it was
Yazbek.
twerific.
That would be terrific.
Twerific. And that was like, that's the kind of dumb shit that I pop for on wordplay.
Oh no.
You just keep doing the twerific. At a certain point, we're getting ready to go attack. We're getting a kind of a, what do you call it? Like a,
Oh, don't forget, they also end that scene with some racism.
which one?
So when they're saying goodbye, he says goodbye in several languages using
Uh-huh.
accurate words.
That's right. Yeah.
And then just does Chinese sounds, I guess.
Yeah.
Instead of actually looking up saying goodbye.
Yeah.
After they said goodbye in every other language.
Uh-huh.
Just sounds.
Are you sure it's not Mandarin or Cantonese?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, I was thinking it's what
I
you're
dug
saying.
deep on this.
Okay, 'cause I was
found
like,
forums
I
with people
bet
from
that's
different
not it.
countries that actually like, nope, not us.
Yeah.
Not us.
Oh, God.
That's just sounds.
Someone did a forum post that
Yep.
was like, yeah, this is real. And you got people from like Laos and like fucking Korea.
No one
They're like,
claimed it.
nope. Okay. We also got at some point the woo, woo, woo. They do the whoop.
Yeah, the Arsenio.
Yeah, the Arsenio whoop. That's also from the trailer. I absolutely remember that too. It was like a sight gag where
They do make a pretty good boob joke here.
yeah, Blinken's lopsided titty.
And he goes, yeah, you look like Picasso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fine. Was kind of like, oh, what are we going to do here? Because they're in drag. It was actually not that bad.
Yeah, I was expecting something horrible to happen.
No,
Nope.
that's fine.
They're just in disguise. Yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't.
They're just some tough
I
looking
mean,
women.
What? Are you like, what? Mel Brooks wouldn't take that low hanging fruit?
Oh, yeah.
Really? You'd be like, oh, he's just going to let that one sit, you know?
Well, again, when
He's not known
at the
to
end
take
of the
the low
scene when they
road.
get out of there is one of the it's the thing I say every day when I get home from work.
He split his arrow in twain.
No. Let me get out of these ladies' clothes and get into my tights.
There you go.
That's when I change out of my work clothes into my home clothes. I say that nearly 365 days a year.
Wow. You really fucking love this movie.
I love this
You
movie.
are really dead inside. I can't believe it.
Hey, he's just tapped into his inner child.
No, it's good. It's good. Yeah. What is the word you'd use for your kid brain?
Dum-dum brain.
Your dum brain. That's what it is. The guy who's doing Dirty Ezio does look exactly fucking like
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood. It's uncanny. So we get this is the classic, this is iconic Robin Hood where he disguises himself as the old man. He goes to the archery contest to, win a kiss from Maid Marian or whatever. And, but they kind of know he's there. And, they've got their own ringer ready. And Robin takes his shot. This other guy takes his shot. And Joe.
I believe you do it better than I do.
He split Robin's arrow in twain.
I was right.
That guy's line read
Just spitting while he says it.
is so good. It's like they took him from like an actual serious period piece and were like,
So
plopped him in
this
here.
crowd extra, he acts better than anyone else in the whole movie.
including all of the main
If the
cast.
spit wasn't there, the spit makes it so much better.
Absolutely, just a big gob, like right at the end of it.
Like
Just
5 stars
twang,
for
and
the
it flies like 10 feet.
6 at the Tokyo Dome. The spit sold it so well.
Which bit? Which bit?
No, the spit.
Oh, the spit. Yeah. That's 6 at the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah.
6.5. Yeah.
Ooh,
Well, I mean, it's gone up to 7 now. So
really?
we get the script gag.
Oh yeah,
Everyone's like, because it's like, oh, Robin just loses
because we
once
haven't
his
done
arrow.
this since Blazing Saddles. Let's pull out the scripts again.
Yeah. And it's, hey, folks, if you thought this was the only callback to Blazing Saddles, wait, because there's more. Just keep watching. It was dumb. It was very dumb. And they are like, the crowd gets hyped because Robin gets another shot. They start doing the chop because people like doing the chop. This is funny.
I
Patriot
enjoy
arrow.
Oh, I enjoy the blink and catch of the murder arrow when Blink snatches the murder arrow out of the air. And they go, "How'd you do this?" "I heard that coming a mile away." And they say something like, "Thanks." Blink goes, "What? Who's talking?"
That was good.
That was a good read from him too. Like, that was the perfect payoff.
I don't
for
know
that
if it's
joke.
actually good, but I enjoy Travis doing it.
Yeah, he's sitting here with a fucking mile-wide grin, just recounting it. That is a good gag though, because I love the fact like, oh, Blinken actually like that's the cool payoff for like the blind character, like heard it coming and then what?
Which leads us directly into our Gulf War joke.
Yes, timely. The Patriot arrow. Was that the actual name of the operation?
Yeah, no, I think it was the missile system, the
was the
guided missile
missile?
system.
The Patriot missile.
Oh, okay, the Patriot missile system. Right. I was thinking like Broken Arrow. Remember that movie?
Oh, with Travolta and
Yeah.
Christian Slater.
Yeah. I was like,
Unfortunately,
is an arrow. Was that like the name of the like Operation Desert Freedom Eagle? And so what's funny is so the arrow is flying around, and I was like, oh, they made all of the extras do the wave twice. They all like, whoa, as they all, the arrow goes under them, they all have to stand up, and they just get to do the wave in two rotations. That was a fun day on set, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure they all loved it.
We're getting close to the walk this way joke because Robin is captured by the sheriff. Sheriff does a little strut, a Ministry of Silly Walks type of strut away, and says, "Walk this way." And of course, they all shrug and begin to walk in the manner that he did.
Very well said.
Yes. Richard Lewis as the king or as the prince again. Still just love his little face. Love his little shit-eating fucking gestures.
Oh, definitely.
He's doing like the cheer for me, like give me the come here, doing the hands up kind of thing. Love it. He's fantastic. So now, what's going to happen? Robin's been captured by the evil sheriff. We get the 12th Century Fox.
Yeah. Not only is it a bad Fox joke, but it's also a bad fax joke.
Mm-hmm.
We'll send a Fox. Because what's more relevant than a fax machine joke in the early 90s?
Yeah, like because it's we'll send a fox. It's it's not even really a fax joke, but it kind of is. It's just fox is one letter away.
Yep.
It's horrible. So then they put a letter on a fox, which is a cute little critter. Release it, and then it makes fucking dolphin noises.
Yeah, it does the dolphin kiki kiki.
Like the fucking flipper. And it's why? I don't know.
Because
We are about to introduce
this is a sweet little silly man.
the best character in the movie is the executioner.
He is a silly goose,
Yes.
and I approve of him.
His name is Robert Ridgely. I looked him up. This is actually a reprised role because he's wearing the eye patch and holding the big axe. I mean, just as a typical executioner, but with the eye patch. This is a reprised kind of role from 1975 TV sitcom When Things Were Rotten, which was directed by Mel Brooks. And do you know what it was?
It was Robin Hood.
A retelling of Robin
It's
Hood.
basically what this movie's based off of. Yeah, it was Mel Brooks' TV show.
So he's like,
What the fuck?
Fuck it, I'm just gonna...
I'll do it again.
But this guy is having such a fun time. He's like his voice. I thought he voiced the Mad Hatter in like Disney's Alice in Wonderland. It was like, I gotta straighten your noose here. Like he kind of has that kind of energy about him. Like some tea, like that kind of thing. That energy. He is having a fucking blast. And I was too.
I just love how he lifts the eye patch up, winks at him, kisses him on the cheek. He is delightful.
Thinks he's such a sweet little prisoner. I love him. We do get the remote control gate.
This is a joke that popped me just because of all my 40s movies.
Which particular one?
Hey, Abbott.
Yeah, when he's walking, and it was like, Abbott, good morrow, Abbott. Hey, Abbott!
Oh.
I hate it. I love it.
Mine might have been watching it at this point like 1.5, so I probably would have not have really heard the background kind of stuff, but okay. All right, we get an Abbott. Like, these are the kind of like untimely but funny.
Yeah, like remember the 40s?
Yeah, those are Mel
Or I
Brooks
guess the
jokes.
cartoons we grew up with because they had Babbitt.
Right.
With Tweety.
Yeah. I mean, like all, and even Animaniacs was like...
Had extremely dated jokes.
Yeah, just like, hey, do you remember the 20s kids? We're like,
I wonder
no.
if kids now have extremely dated jokes in their stuff. But that has moved with it. So like now they have 70s references.
Right. Yeah. Oh.
Kids, do your cartoons have disco?
Yeah, there we go. Kiss. A lot of Kiss jokes. They're from the 70s, right?
Ugh. Yeah.
I don't know. Fucking
Pam Grier?
Joni Mitchell.
We're just naming people who were relevant in the 70s.
Naming people from the 70s.
Kids, do you know Tom Jones?
So this is the, the penultimate kind of... Was that your Tom Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, okay. We should watch Father of the Bride, too. So this is the penultimate kind of scene. Robin's been held captive, and now, is it the sheriff is marrying Maid Marian?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the only way for him not to kill Robin
is to marry. That's right, because they were going to kill him when they captured him of the thing, but Maid Marian's like, I will offer myself to you.
She said she'll do the most disgusting thing that she could think of.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody goes, I will marry you.
There was one... Thank you for reminding me of that, because what does she say? She's like, I need someone to be like a respectful man. He's like, or whatever. So he's like, oh yes, I respect that. And then just walks away. Like the sheriff is like, all he wants to do is fuck. And she's like, but whatever, et cetera, et cetera. He's like, of course, yeah, I respect that.
You may have but you'll never have my heart.
That's right.
My mind.
Yeah.
You'll have my body, but you...
Yeah, that's right.
That's fine.
Oh yes, I respect that. And then just walks away. That was a good line read. All right, fuck it. That was a joke in the show. So wouldn't you fucking know it? Robin Hood is about to be hanged, but who shows up to stop and object to this wedding? Oh wait, that's later. First off, they get away with it. They're going to get married, and the sheriff absconds with Maid Marian as the merrymen attack. So the vows are not officiated.
No. Dave Chappelle saves the day.
Yes, but this guy has got to get with Maid. Like, the sheriff is so horny.
Yeah.
There is a full-on fracas breaking out, a Pier 6 brawl, if you will. And he takes Maid Marian and, like, to a bedroom to fuck.
Yeah, he just runs her up there.
He's like, that chop, chop. Like, he gotta get his
like,
nut.
I took my blue chew.
Yeah.
Clock's a ticking.
Exactly.
He's acting like a real Anthony Hopkins.
I've got
is what you're saying.
I've got 20 minutes before this shit kicks in. Yeah, and so that happens, which is really like what they didn't do a super whole lot in this movie. Well, they touched on it, but like I don't know, the sheriff's desire for Maid Marian. It just kind of was like, oh, okay, I guess he wants to fuck her. I don't know.
They don't really get a lot into it.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, I guess he's the villain, so that's
She's
what
the prettiest one
villains do.
in his circle.
Yeah.
So
in his social circle.
Yeah.
They're always at parties together. So the chastity belt, damn it, he can't do it. They could have made like a what about
Is she
mouth
wearing
stuff
a
joke
metal
there.
bra also? I can't tell if it's just shiny or if it's metal.
yeah, he gets out the jackhammer,
gets
goes
out the
to town on her.
jackhammer, can't unlock it, and that's enough time for Robin to save the day, to challenge the sheriff to their final duel in a bedroom. It's fine.
It's a decent duel. It ends with a sword in the armpit.
Yeah.
They do the very like elementary school theater
Yeah,
stab.
the
where it's
classic.
catching it in
"Oh,
the armpit and falling backwards.
and now I die.
Or does he?
Well, he was going to, but then what happens?
Latrine saves his life with a lifesaver.
Get it?
The lifesaver candy.
It's the candy called the Lifesaver. One good visual gag in this is when they're sword fighting, we see their silhouettes, and then they drop the sword and start just doing like shadow puppet hand animals, and are like.
and in case you forget you're watching a movie, the sword goes out a window and stabs a passing like PA's bagel.
Yeah, and he's like, what the fuck? He doesn't say that, but that's the look that he gives.
And now that Teamster's hungry.
Mm-hmm. That guy's probably dead now.
Yeah, definitely.
You thought about that? That's not true, though. Mel Brooks is still alive. But he's very old.
Mel Brooks has more money than whoever that guy was.
That's a very good point. Especially if that was his shoot job, if he was just like some background guy. I mean, he gets good union dues, or good union pay.
So, what we just missed was during their fight, the sheriff catches Robin's locket and throws it up into the ceiling where it smashes, revealing the key which lands perfectly in the lock to the chastity belt.
That's right, yes.
Then Robin stabs Home Dude.
Yeah,
Home Dude's dead.
As he lays dying, Latrine comes up to save him. He basically agrees it's worth it, but he regrets his decision to eat the life-saving lifesaver, and we get some beautiful magic special effects as the sheriff is...
Yeah, I think we get like sparkles.
Little pulsing...
Minty sparkles.
Minty, circular, whatever. So they're going to go off and bone, so that's great.
So the Blue Chew will not go to waste.
That's true. He's at least getting his money.
Some of that latrine.
Yep. Promo code.
Ew.
Brooks. So Robin, Maid Marian, they smooch. He takes her. They go back to the wedding,
Well, they try to smash.
That's true. They try to fuck.
Broomhilda comes in and says, no ding ding without the wedding ring.
Without the ring.
You really know this movie well.
Nice.
Yep. Thank you for correcting me. More than anything, I strive for accuracy. So, well, there just happens to be the Abbots out there.
Nope, not the Abbot. Making his return cameo.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
right. It's Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
He's ordained. He's an ordained rabbi. Have you been to a Jewish wedding?
I have.
They're fun. They know how to fucking do it. Seriously. Christian weddings are so fucking boring.
They're so boring. Catholic weddings.
Oh, the worst. Get ready to... That's just the mass.
Yeah, get ready for like 4 hours of chanting and getting up and down.
Yeah, you got to slap yourself in the head with the fucking 2x4s like it's Monty Python.
Me going to a Catholic wedding knowing nothing about what's about to happen, it was the weirdest fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
Me going to Catholic school and having to go to all school mass once a week, but also chapel on like another day. Going to a Catholic wedding.
It's breezy.
Fucking no.
Oh, it's even worse?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because now I don't have to go. I'm an adult. But now what makes it better is my handy dandy party trick that I take to every wedding.
Do you also bring your 5-foot staff that you brought to?
No, I just bring a flask like a regular grown up. And I sit in the back of the church and I drink.
No, you motherfucker! I drink out of a flask.
I tailgate before I go to church now.
Okay.
If I have to go to church, you will find me in the parking lot crushing brews.
I would just simply say don't go to church because
for a wedding.
Oh, okay.
If I'm going to
a church,
if I will tailgate at a wedding before a wedding that I have to go to church for.
There we go. Okay, so
I still know they keep changing some of the words though. It's pissing me off. They
in mass,
Catholic mass isn't the same as it used to be. They've
Thanks,
just changed
John
the
Paul
call. They've changed the call and response. And so then if you show up after 15 years. Now you just look like an asshole because you're saying the old stuff.
Yeah, there's the thing. Like I know
how they catch you posers.
I guess.
Yeah, they're like someone didn't get the fucking memo. I went to I think it was my grandfather's funeral, and I was raised Methodist, and so we do I think it's the Nicene Creed is what it's called. Where it's
that is a thing. I don't know if that's what you guys do, but yeah, that's the thing.
Or is it the Lord's Prayer?
The Lord's Prayer is Our Father who art in heaven.
Okay, not that one.
Okay.
There's like another one. Anyway. It's like I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Holy Catholic Church, but it's lowercase c Catholic.
Saints, yeah,
the communion of saints, the forgiveness of sins, etc., whatever. And that had changed a little bit.
God, I know too much.
And so I remembered it, and I'm in the flow, and then all of a sudden it changes, and I'm like, "Fuck, is this not? It's not the right thing." So anyway, back to this fucking movie. So Mel Brooks is there. He's going to officiate the wedding between Robin and Maid Marian. But just before they say their I do's, someone objects, and it is King Richard. King Richard, he's returned from the Crusades, he has. And who is it playing King Richard?
The legend,
Sir
Patrick Stewart.
Yep, looking great.
Jean-Luc himself.
Jean-Luc himself, Charles Xavier himself.
Which is also great because if you notice, he does a Scottish accent.
Oh,
Yes.
he trolls on Connery so much
So
with that
bad.
brogue.
Yes.
Another point of fact is Connery wanted to come and do this movie, except he wanted to reprise his role from Prince of Thieves as King Richard in a dress for $1 million. And Mel Brooks goes, nah, dude, we're good.
Have you seen our sets?
Have you seen the
million-
rest of this movie?
What's how much we spent on all of it, man?
Yeah, that's it. I like the idea of Connery being like, I'd love to come do your picture. And he's like, but I'd like $1 million. You know?
And to wear a dress.
Yeah, it's like he gives like, oh, the funny thing, he's like getting drinks with Mel, and he's like, oh, yeah, sure, great, would love for it. Come on down to the set. He's like, you have to pay me $1 million to do this thing I asked
to do this walk-on cameo.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious what went through Connery's head. He's like, no, I'm going to wear a dress. And like, well, why? Because it's going to be funny.
Because can you imagine a man wearing a dress?
This is a comedy.
It's a comedy. It's a man wearing a dress. Insane. You know? I mean, if you know anything about Sean Connery, like,
He's not funny.
he's not only not a great
Does
guy.
he not know he doesn't get to hit a woman in this movie?
And on that note, we finally have our, the kiss, the happy ending.
They go upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
They're about to get busy. The key doesn't work.
What?
Call the locksmith. Call the locksmith. Call
Credits
the locksmith. We get another rap.
That's right. A denouement rap, wrapping it all up.
Got to send them home happy.
They got to wrap it all up.
But don't.
Wrap it up, just like we're going to wrap it up on this. Joe, what did you think of Robin Hood Men
I
in
thought
Tights?
you were about to ask me to rap, and I was going to cry.
Absolutely not. What'd you think
I
of the
thought
movie?
that it was a film that happened in the 90s.
Yes.
It was made by Mel Brooks.
Uh-huh.
It had Carrie Elwes in it and Amy Asbeck.
Uh-huh. That's all. That's true.
Yeah.
Good point. Solid points made.
I liked it a lot as a kid. Then I got older.
Yeah.
And now I don't. Because I don't have kid brain, because that part of me is less fun now.
Yeah.
I wish I did have more kid brain.
Yeah.
But I don't. So it's a big old stinker.
Okay. Well, we know. Well, I'll let Travis give a spirited defense. I'll say when I was first watching this live, I was like, I didn't want to watch it. I was like, oh no, because I remember not liking it. I know it has a bad rap, and I didn't really like it at first. But then, kind of sitting here now, I'm like looking through my notes. It has some good bits in it. I still think it's fair to say it's the weakest or one of the weakest. If it's either this or Dracula Dead
It's
and Loving
Dracula.
It. Yeah. Of Brooks's oeuvre, you know what I mean? That word that means his catalog. Ovaries. It's the weakest of his two ovaries. But it wasn't irredeemable.
It could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
I've
We
seen
know
worse
that
comedies.
because of Dracula Dead and Loving It.
When you mix Mel Brooks with Leslie Nielsen
It's
in the mid 90s,
It's just
it's a recipe for shit.
yeah. Travis.
So apart from the early sports joke, which I just didn't see the point of having it in there. I mean, even just I get it. We're in another country and they play different sports here.
Yeah.
Apart from those few small things, I mean, you guys come back rewatching it. We cracked up here.
We did.
A good
To be
while.
fair, a lot of my laughs were at how much you enjoyed certain scenes.
That was also true. It helps when someone enjoys a thing. I
Yeah.
like watching something that someone loves.
I mean, yeah, because you get back into it and you see some of like the Dom DeLuise parts.
Yeah.
That's just
It's great.
as long as you're down for a silly movie
Down to clown.
with
Or down with the clown.
with a handful of inappropriate things in it.
a sprinkle of, oh, they really shouldn't have.
Yeah. Oh, ooh. A sprinkle of, ooh, that didn't age well.
But if you have Dum Dum Brain and you don't know what those things mean, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Okay, so is that a 5 stars?
No, it's a 10.
It's a 10.
It's a 10.
He
I love
doubled
this
it up.
goddamn movie.
He broke the scale.
All right.
And damn.
He doubled the scale.
I know it
He's
it
worse than
hurts
Meltzer.
in some parts, especially it doesn't, not all of it holds up well, but I don't mind the songs. I don't mind the dancing. I don't mind the rapping.
Okay.
To me,
It's a brave position.
It's all nostalgia, and I watch it often.
Okay. 10 stars
Yeah, I love this
out
movie.
of 5.
Yeah, I love this movie. It's
So
is
this
it a
is
good movie? Not necessarily, but I love this movie.
So this
Yeah.
is twice as good as a perfect movie.
It's like, yeah, if you watch the perfect movie 2 times, you might as well just save yourself some time and sit down and watch Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Okay.
Look, it's a piece of shit, but it's your piece of
That's
shit.
right.
and
It's
we
got to be
it.
somebody's.
I'm going to say I'll go 1.5 stars.
That's fair.
I think it's like there's enough in there that it's okay, but overall it's a bad movie, and I can't say it's good. I don't have the nostalgia for it, but there are enough good jokes in it that I'm not going to say 1 or below.
I gave it a 2. And
Okay.
I'll tell you how I got there. It was a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then it got 0.5 for The Night is Young because I enjoyed that scene a lot.
Yeah.
Then it got 0.5 for Travis enjoying it.
Okay. Well, if you want to, okay,
'Cause I'm changing it
I'll
right
bump
now.
it to a 2 now too because I like
'Cause
watching Travis.
it was more
enjoy
fun
this.
watching it on mute right now than it
Yeah.
was watching it at home with sound.
I agree. All right.
That's fair. I watched it 2 days ago or whatever, and I had more fun talking about it and enjoying it with you guys, cracking up and making jokes about it than I did just sitting and watching about
Yeah.
myself.
So this is one to watch with friends.
Watch with friends.
Yes, watch with friends, dog on it,
Mm-hmm.
stop, tell stories,
Yep.
make it an evening.
Warn
There we
them
go.
that there's some off-color humor going
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah. A
Or
little bit
if
of
they're
that.
if they're your friends and you are like some of us, they're already going to know.
There are going to be, they'll be fine with it. So yeah, but
Yeah,
I
if
think that is
you're-
the perfect way to actually recommend it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it with some friends
Do it with
Drink-
your loved ones.
a little bit if you can.
Yeah.
If you have children, make them leave the room.
Send them to bed.
They don't need to see
If
it.
Send
you
them to
raise
summer
them right,
camp.
they won't get the bad jokes.
Send them to military school.
That's one thing I got to say about this movie. Normally, when you watch a movie from your childhood and there's more adult humor in it
Mhm.
that you missed, it's funny as an adult.
Right.
This time, the adult jokes are just the worst shit.
Yeah. The dumb jokes are the better jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. All right. Well, that wraps up another edition of Video City Podcast. Joe, what do we got
Wait.
coming next? Oh, no, it's Travis. What we got coming
Yeah, we're going to
next?
throw this one to Travis.
Oh, are we?
Terrific, Travis.
I mean, really, it's Brent's choice, but we're just throwing it around.
Oh, okay, yeah. What we got coming up next?
What we have coming up next is going to be one of Fred Willard's most accurately rated bad movies.
That was great.
An iconic performance, truly, by both Fred Willard and Travis. We'll see you next time on Video City. Bye.
Next time on Video City.
That dude was surprisingly old.
Wayne
Major
Static.
Duker?
Yeah. No, Wayne Static.
Stop trying to talk about this shitty movie, Travis. We're talking about important things. Static X.